Do you have any regrets? I have a lot, and some of them are more painful than others. Some may say don't dwell on your regrets, but for me, they're the world's best lessons, and they've taught me so much. Number 1, not trying harder in high school. In high school, I definitely didn't give my best effort. I still ended up with a good enough GPA, test scores, and extracurriculars to go to a good school, but if I'm being honest with myself, I could have done better. Learning how to be a good student in high school is important because it sets you up in college, where you don't have the luxury of winging things unless you're a genius, which I am the furthest thing from. Whenever admission season rolls around and I see these bright kids getting into their dream schools, a part of me always feels a twinge of regret. I would have rather know I couldn't get into these schools, but I gave it my all, than settle for a decent/good school and know I could have tried harder. Number 2, not visiting the colleges I got into. Not visiting the colleges I got into was pretty stupid of me. I'm not sure why I didn't visit them. You should definitely visit the place you're going to spend some of the most important years of your life at, and had I visited these schools, I might have had a different idea or understanding of where I wanted to go. The main thing was, as a pre-med biology major, I knew I wanted to go to a school where I could fall back on computer science. And I knew the college I ended up choosing had a very lax major change policy and no need to test into impacted majors. As someone who didn't have the greatest college experience, visiting some of these schools may have been the litmus test that I needed to figure out whether or not I belonged at that school. Number 3, not doing enough LeetCode in college. After I got weeded out of the pre-med track and switched to computer science, I was clueless on how to get computer science related internships. I didn't know about LeetCode until late sophomore year, where I failed a very easy question on how to find the height of a binary tree. Due to my extremely subpar LeetCode skills, both of my internships in college were companies that only asked behavioral questions and questions about my side projects. Meanwhile, my peers were nailing FANG interviews left and right. Back then, those internship interviews were much less demanding. 2 phone screens and you were in. Plus, the internship to full-time offer pipeline was a legit cheat code for a $200K total comp post-grad offer. If I did more LeetCode in college, maybe it wouldn't have taken me this long to get into FANG. Number 4, accepting the first post-grad offer. I'm not saying I regret the first company I worked for, because I met some really great people there, some of whom are close friends to this day. I regret immediately stopping my job search after acquiring that first offer. I spent so much time of that summer grinding LeetCode that I should have kept trying for other companies. Once I got the offer, I immediately got senioritis and slacked off for the rest of the year. Toward the end of my senior year, I was approached by Facebook for a new grad loop, and this was a few months after I had last touched LeetCode. I wish I gave it a better effort that year and didn't settle for the offer that I got. Again, better to know that I didn't get it and know I tried my best versus didn't get it and know I didn't give it my full effort. Number 5, leaving my first job too soon. I left my first job because I wanted to relocate to a bigger city, but it wasn't in the cards. And so I began a very half-assed job search. I found a startup that was willing to pay me over 50 grand more than my current salary, and I joined them. But I was bait and switched into a DevOps role, even though initially the role was a full stack position. This job sucked. I had an unsupportive manager who lied to me about the work I would be doing, and I should have just stayed at my old company, learning from my same teammates and gaining more useful experience. I grinded like hell to get away from this startup, and it made me happy to hear about their bankruptcy a while ago. But because I jumped the gun and left my first job too early, I lost 7 months of valuable work experience that would have been more impressive on my resume than the stuff I did at the startup. Number 6, not starting content creation earlier. During the pandemic, I wish I started content creation earlier. This was right when TikTok was on the come up, and I unfortunately bought into the idea that TikTok was cringe. During that time, the cooking niche wasn't oversaturated yet, and it would have been the perfect time to start making content. Instead, I spent most of that time playing video games or watching K-dramas. Back in the day, I would feel sad about not starting my content creation journey earlier. Seeing others with similar skills blow up and create a massive following just made me feel like I missed out on the best opportunity to start making content. Feeling this regret helps motivate me to film more and build up my skills as a filmmaker and a home cook. Better now than never, and if it goes nowhere, who cares? I do this for myself anyways. At the end of the day, most of these regrets ultimately had a positive benefit for me. These things were all important lessons that I could only get by doing the wrong thing at the time. Now I'm more prepared, whether that be for when I start grad school, working hard at my current job to secure a promotion, or being more on top of content creation as a hobby. Regrets are painful only if you let them keep happening. And I sure as hell won't. Thanks for watching. Cheers.